Hello everyone, welcome to Headlines of the Day. This is 18th of April 2022 and we are back again with some of the major articles from the Hindu newspaper. Let's begin our today's discussion with the very first article on page number 1 from GS2 Judiciary section, and this article is headlined as Retirement Spree in Supreme Court May Affect Efforts to Scale Down Dependency. So monthly retirements of judges will start from May, the very month the top court goes into its summer recess. From this article, you have to understand how retirements in the topmost line of judiciary in 2022 will affect the Indian judicial system, other issues such as pendency of cases, shortage of judicial institutions and judges, and initiatives taken by the government for improving judicial system, and what is the possible scenario ahead. Moving further on page number 1 itself from GS2 International Relations, there's an article about BRICS Summit that is likely to be held in June, and that will be hosted in a virtual mode by China. So BRICS meet likely in June, India to attend the China-hosted event. From this article, you have to know about the origin, pillars and significance of BRICS, India and its relation to BRICS, the challenges for BRICS and what is the possible scenario ahead. Moving further on page number 6 from editorial section GS3 Science and Technology, there's an interesting article that is written by Sri M. Venkaiah Naidu, and this article is headlined as A North Pole for Science and Technology. So he talks about the works and contributions of Y. Nayudamma. From this article, you have to know about Y. Nayudamma and what are his works and contributions, how scientists and technologists can be agents of change, and what is the way ahead in this particular field. Moving further on page number 6 from GS2 Geography, there's an article about time for change. The IMD must update some process and stress on shorter forecast, that is the Indian Meteorological Department. So what does the IMD's forecast of new normal mean to India's monsoon season, and why has IMD changed its definition of LPA? Now LPA means long period average, and the India Meteorological Department has forecasted normal monsoon for this year, or 99% of the long period average of 87 centimeters. Moving further on page number 8 from GS2 Statutory, Regulatory and Quasi-Judicial Bodies, there's an article about the Enforcement Directorate. So the article is headlined as The Functioning of Enforcement Directorate. What are the powers of ED under Prevention of Money Laundering Act? From this article, you have to understand what are the powers of Enforcement Directorate under the Prevention of Money Laundering Act, what are other roles and functions of ED, what differentiates the probe between the local police and officers of the Enforcement Directorate. Moving further, on page number 8 itself, there's an article about cyber security, GS3, and this article is headlined as The Status of India's National Cyber Security Strategy. And some of the key highlights to consider are: why does India need a cyber security strategy? What is the National Cyber Security Strategy? What are the key recommendations of Data Security Council of India? And what is the progress in its implementation? Moving further, on page number 10 from International Relations, there's an article about China deploying UAVs, that is unarmed aerial vehicles, near the line of actual control. So from this article, you have to understand why is there an increasing trend in UAV deployment by the People's Liberation Army, that is PLA, in Tibet region and along the line of actual control, how it is going to affect bilateral relations between India and China, and most importantly, India's preparedness, the present status of talks for disengagement and de-escalation in eastern Ladakh to end the standoff, and what is the possible outcome ahead. Moving further on page number 12 from GS2 Governance section, there's an article that is headlined as Code for Medical Devices Welcomed. Industry says it will help adopt ethical marketing practice requirements. From this article, you have to consider how medical devices characteristically different from pharmaceuticals and the key features of recently published Draft Uniform Code for Medical Device Marketing Practices, its aims and objectives. So with this, we'll wrap up today's edition of Headlines of the Day. For regular updates, you can follow us on our social media handles, and for more such videos, do stay tuned to the next IAS YouTube channel.